Picture this. Two planes take off from Los Angeles, both headed to New York City. One pilot adjusts their heading by just 3.5 degrees. So small, you wouldn't even notice your coffee ripple. That plane lands in Washington, D.C., 225 miles off course. That tiny, invisible shift, that's your life right now. And most people never see it coming. Here's the terrifying truth. The gap between who you could become and who you'll actually become isn't determined by your big decisions. It's controlled by something so small, so invisible, that you're making the choice right now without even realizing it. Today I'm going to show you the math that proves it, the science that explains it, and the one habit that separates people who compound success from those who wake up at 45 wondering what happened. Let me show you something that will change how you see every single day. If you get 1% better every day for a year, you don't improve by 365%. You improve by 3,778%. That's the power of compound interest applied to your life. But here's where it gets dark. If you decline by just 1% every day, maybe you scroll instead of read, skip the gym, avoid that difficult conversation. After 1 year, you're at 3% of where you started. You're approaching zero. Let me make this visceral. Right now, the average person spends 2 hours and 23 minutes on social media daily. Let's be conservative and say you waste just 1 hour a day scrolling. 1 hour a day equals 365 hours a year. At an average reading speed, that's 36 books you could have read. Over a decade, that's 360 books. The difference between someone who's read 0 books and someone who's read 360 books isn't a gap. It's a different universe. Warren Buffett isn't twice as rich as the average investor. He's millions of times richer. That's not luck. That's this math operating over 80 years. So if the math is this powerful, why doesn't everyone do it? Because of what I call the 28-degree trap. Imagine an ice cube sitting in a room at 25 degrees Fahrenheit. You start heating the room. 26 degrees, still solid. 27 degrees, nothing. 28 degrees, still nothing. 29, 30, 31 degrees, the ice just sits there, mocking your effort. Then you hit 32 degrees. Suddenly, it melts. Here's the thing. The energy you put in from 25 to 31 degrees wasn't wasted. It was being stored. The work was happening beneath the surface, invisible to you. This is where 99% of people quit. They work out for 2 weeks, look in the mirror, see no change, and conclude it doesn't work. They're heating the room from 25 to 26 degrees and expecting to see water. But there's something working against you, and it's brutal. Your brain evolved in a world where the future didn't really exist. Our ancestors couldn't save food. It would rot. They couldn't save safety. Threats were immediate. So your brain is wired to heavily favor now over later. Scientists call this hyperbolic discounting, and it's the villain of your story. Studies show people will choose $50 today over $100 in the year. That's a 100% return they're rejecting, something you'd never find in any investment, because the brain sees today's $50 as real and next year's $100 as imaginary. And here's where it gets worse. Modern technology has weaponized this vulnerability. Social media, junk food, streaming services, they're all engineered to give you massive dopamine hits right now, exploiting the exact glitch in your operating system. You're not weak. You're being actively hacked. Let me show you this isn't theory. Let me introduce you to 2 people who started with nothing. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, worth billions. As a young, struggling lawyer, he realized he was selling his best hours to clients and had nothing left for himself. So he made one decision. He would sell himself the first hour of every day. 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., non-negotiable. That hour was spent reading, thinking, building mental models. Even when he was broke, even when he needed money, he paid himself first in time. That 1 hour compounded into insights that identified investments worth billions. The initial cost? Maybe $20 of lost billable work. The return? Incalculable. Benjamin Franklin did the same thing 200 years earlier. He identified 13 virtues he wanted to embody and created a paper tracking system. He'd focus on one virtue per week, cycling through all 13 4 times a year. He never achieved perfection, but he wrote, "I was surprised to find myself so much fuller of faults than I had imagined, but I had the satisfaction of seeing them diminish." Small course corrections, constantly. That's the invisible rudder. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. Meet Alex and Sam, Both 25 years old, same IQ, same job, same $50,000 salary. The only difference? One habit. Age 25 to 30, Alex wakes up late, works 9 to 5, comes home exhausted, and decompresses with Netflix for 2 hours. Buys lunch daily for $15. It's just $15. Sam wakes up 1 hour earlier, spends 30 minutes reading, 30 minutes learning a skill, packs lunch for $3, invests the $12 difference. At 30, they look almost identical. Alex might even seem more fun. Sam has read 120 books and has $25,000 saved. The ice cube is at 28 degrees. Alex laughs. You're missing out on life for what? You're not rich. Age 30 to 40. The industry shifts. AI automates jobs. Alex's skills are obsolete. A recession hits. Alex gets laid off with no savings, outdated skills, approaching panic. Sam gets laid off too, but Sam spotted the AI trend years ago. From reading, pivoted skills during those morning hours, now has $500,000 saved. Sam doesn't panic. Sam feels freedom. The difference wasn't one big decision. It was 1 hour. It was $12. It was 10 pages a day. Here's the final truth. You're not choosing between success and failure. You're choosing between two versions of yourself that will exist in 10 years. One will be shaped by compound growth, the other by compound decay. The gap between them starts as 3.5 degrees, invisible today, but time is the magnifier. And eventually, that 3.5 degrees becomes an ocean. The Chinese bamboo tree grows nothing for 4 years. You water it, you fertilize it, and nothing happens. Then in year 5, it shoots up 80 feet in 6 weeks. The question is, did it grow 80 feet in 6 weeks or 80 feet in 5 years? The answer is 5 years. Because if you stop watering in year 3, it dies in the ground. So what's your 1 hour? What's your invisible rudder? The math doesn't lie, the physics doesn't negotiate, and your future self is watching. What will you sell yourself today?